Hey guys, it's Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading, and today we have a mini destiny forecast. Yeah, today we are doing a mini destiny read, or this is a yearly forecast. It is for those born today, November 19th. Now, the reason this is a mini read is because for all the planetary periods, there are 7 in 1 year, 7 52-day periods, which really talk about the different planetary energies. We have Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. Okay, so we have those planets, and each of them have their own energies. A lot of us know all about that, right? But this is predicting those cycles starting on your birthday. So, but it depends, since it's a yearly forecast, it's going to depend on your exact age. So right now, this is for anybody born on November 19th. We don't know, we're not sure how old they are or what year. So we're going by the day here. And this is why we're going to talk about the soul card and the planetary ruling cards. We'll talk about the auspicious years, right? And for anybody who wants a real destiny, I shouldn't say a real one, but complete one. They're on promotion, yeah, for $50, yeah. So see below, because it's well worth it. These can really help you kind of with your decisions. They can help you with your choices, because it's telling you whether or not these cycles will be favorable or they possibly could be challenging depending on the cards, right? Now, we know Saturn can be challenging sometimes, but maybe you'll have great cards and there's nothing to be, right? There's nothing to kind of think about, sort of. But, and if you do have a kind of a challenging, card, within any period, it is just kind of a heads up to just kind of, it's awareness. It's not to scare you, right? Right? Of course it's not. Okay, so for this person born on November 19th, we have the Ace of Clubs. This is a great card. This is the desire for knowledge or the beginning of some new plan, right? So we know the aces are new beginnings in the tarot, right? And so the basic meaning of the Ace of Clubs, here is a strong desire for knowledge or the birth of a new idea, plan, or way of communicating with the world around you. Yeah, so these are wands, basically. I beg your pardon, they are, the clubs are the swords, and this is why they are referring to communication, right? We know that the swords are about communications and the mental aspect, right? Yeah, and this can also talk about, this could mean a desire for some specific information you could be seeking, for an education, or to pursue some plans you make. Yeah, the Ace of Clubs always means a new beginning of some sort. This could be a new job or just embarking on a new way of thinking and communicating with others, like I have mentioned. The exact nature of the beginning will depend on the position of the card and the circumstances in your life at the time. Yeah, exactly. But in general, this is a good time to plan something new. So this is really interesting because this is the soul card or the birth card, right, for those born November 19th. So it's a really cool, it's kind of a good luck card, because it can talk about something new, but it talks about a desire for, something kind of higher up, right? It doesn't, it could be spiritual knowledge, but it can be anything. You could be saying, well, I'm going to study this now, right? A desire. It can talk simply about a new beginning in itself. Maybe it is not, typically maybe you're not seeking knowledge, but this can talk about a new plan, right? Or a new idea, exactly. So this is a great card here. For me, this is kind of a card of a little bit, this is a higher vibration card, right? Because it is, it talks about a beginning, but it can talk about either a desire for knowledge or, as I said, the beginning of something new, which is always great, right? We have the Five of Wands, clubs and spades as the two planetary cards. Now, fives tend to be challenging, you guys. They do, also in the tarot, but This card over here can trump this. The birth card is more important than the planetary ruling cards. But here's the thing with the planetary ruling cards. When you get your destiny forecast, you get your yearly forecast based on your birth card, and you get another one with it based on your planetary ruling cards. So you get a lot. You do. You get a lot of information. And these are important. They just are not typically as important as the Ace of Clubs, which is a good thing because we're going to find out about these two fives right now. The Five of Clubs talks about changes in plans or thinking. Okay, so I just mentioned that the clubs are like the swords, so we can see how could be changes in plans or thinking. Really interesting here how we have like a new beginning, or somebody is embarking on a new idea, new way of communicating with this card, Ace of Clubs. And now the Five of Clubs is the planetary ruling card. And this talks about changes, but since we have the Ace of Clubs as a new beginning, this change, I feel like, is for the better. Okay, let's look at this, because the fives, they do talk about changes, and they can talk about restlessness. Yes, they can. And the change of mind and plans is the basic meaning of the Five of Clubs. However, any five can mean a change in residence or travel opportunities. Five of Clubs can also mean a restlessness that brings up a desire to explore new realms, at least on the mental level. You see that? So now, whoever is born on this day is going to be like thinking of new ways. Yeah, new plans, new ideas. Yeah, they're not going to be, like content to just kind of go with the same, situation at work or in their career, their love life. They're going to be a little restless. But it's always this higher, with this higher energy. Yeah, it is. And so, and I feel like a higher knowing. Yeah, let's see what we have here. We have, whenever this card appears, it may be a signal for a change in your life. Yeah, the fives can come as a change. Boom. Like you can't really help it. Yeah, okay. You will likely feel a dissatisfaction with things as they are and want to progress into new areas because of the restlessness. Be open to new plans, new ideas, new places to go. The only negative side of this card is an unwillingness to commit oneself to any particular belief or philosophy. In other words, you're kind of all over the place, right? And you're not committing, so the energy is a little weaker. It's kind of how that goes, right? You can say it's a little bit like when somebody, you could kind of compare to this where somebody has, they're a jack of all trades, and in some cases, the person who is a jack of all trades may never may never put their all into one. But if you look at it in another way, they could be masters of all of those as well. They could be, right? So, yeah. So let's see what else. All right. So let's look at the Five of Spades now, and that is the second planetary ruling card. Remember, when you get these destiny forecasts for the year, you get two, the planetary ruling and the birth card spread, right? Okay, the Five of Spades, changes in lifestyles or living location. So this talked about that too, and this talks about changes, fives, as I said. And, we know that in the tarot, right? Every time we see a five in a reading, it is either about, it can be, it's usually changes, can be definitely physical changes, but can be endings, changes in the way you think, changes where you live, changes in relationships. I don't care for this relationship anymore. Things like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Changes in your spirituality, etc., etc. The Five of Spades is one of the strongest indicators of travel or moving your home or your business. Really interesting here because it's possible those born on November 19th, they may move a lot. They could. It could indicate a change in your health as well. At its most basic level, The Five of Spades means a change in your lifestyle or the things that you do day in and day out. Kind of like a Virgo energy, right? Virgo's about the daily routine. Yeah. And when this card appears, something will change that affects the way you live or the things that you do each day. This card usually brings with it a certain amount of restlessness, like the other one, and the desire for changes or travel. Really interesting here. It can result in a dissatisfaction with the way your life has been that motivates you to want new things, lifestyles, and experiences. This card has a strong Sagittarian influence to it. Yeah, Sagittarians can be restless. I'm one, I would know. And we do like change. We don't like to. I've been wanting to move for a while. So, yeah, and so we do. We need change in order to feel like we are kind of moving forward in our life. I mean, Sagittarius is of the wand element, and that is about movement. So that is important to us, right? So this is a very, it could be, and it talks about travel as well. Yeah, interesting, right? Like the Eight of Wands is about change, right? And these spades are wands. Yeah, they are. Okay, but they don't mean exactly the same each card, right? Three of Wands, Four of Wands, or Four of Spades as the Four of Wands. They don't mean, they're not all exactly. So you can't, like if you know how to read tarot, doesn't mean you can read these cards. No, it doesn't mean that. And so, yeah. And so let's look at the auspicious years, because whoever's reading or forecast, whoever's cards these are is an interesting person. Yeah, they are. And they are restless. I feel like they are intelligent, of the intelligent type, because of the two swords here. And then this ace as their sole card, wanting, like, embarking on new ideas. Yeah, like innovators could be, right? So let's look at the ace of clubs. And I'm not going to read all the years because it takes a long time. It does. They're all here. The purpose finding and fated years. And yeah. And so right now, interestingly enough, whoever, I'll read the ages here, though. The life path and the 13-year cycle ruling cards for the ace of clubs, right? Now, as we have 7 periods here that are 13 years long, within the yearly forecast, they are 77 52-day periods. So right now, if somebody born on November 19th is under 25, they're going to be in the Venus period. This is love and sex and things like that, right? It is. It can be about things of beauty. It can be nature too, right? And then we have Mars for anybody who's 26 to 38. Okay, Mars is an interesting time. It could be a time of passion or being impulsive. Yeah, be careful for that. It can be a time of really asserting yourself. Mars, like as the Fool and the Magician, basically. We could say the Emperor as well, right? And so Mars, yeah, it could be a time where people want to argue with you, but this is a 13-year spread. So, and Mars sometimes is about fairness. It can be. And so we have the Jupiter period, and the Mars period is from age 26 to 38. The Jupiter period is from 39 to 51. So this is a time of making money. Yeah, it is. Making money, success, expansion. And for anybody 52 to 64, they're going to be in their Saturn period. We'll talk about that if you guys get a reading, right? We'll go on. And then we have the Uranus period, 65 to 77. And the Neptune period is 78 to 90, right? So, but, the rebirth years for November 19th is age 45 and 90, right? Yeah, so, and that is when you start. It's kind of like a solar return chart, sort of, because you start all over with 90, and then you will be in your Mercury period, right, which is time of new ideas. But, talking about this, we have the fated years, 5, 10, 15, 16, 29, 32, 33, 54, 60, 84, 95. We have blessed years here. We have the years of difficult endings. We have a year of caution. It's interesting. And then, the years of personal challenge, the good money cards, or the good money years here are age 25, 27, 39, 40, 41, 53, 68, and 70. And those are kind of cool, right? Because we see good money in every, we see them in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So, Yeah, and so for anybody born today, they are Scorpio, I believe, is in the Uranus, not Uranus, I'm not really sure what period you guys are in right now. Let's have a look here, and we'll end this, right? Yeah, and so, but you are right before Sagittarius. Sagittarian is in Neptune. Most likely you guys are in, let's have a look. I forget. It's either Uranus or Saturn. Let's look at it right now. So when you get these destiny readings, you're going to see your long term for the year. You're going to see the theme for the year, right? Whether or not it's love, money, moving, possibly a new career, things like that. You get your long term. You get your Pluto, which shows you what kind of needs to end or some mini ending, and so what you can transform with that. You get your environment, and your environment is a blessing, and the results card is, that is what happens. It's like that is the result that comes from the environment. We also have the displacement card. The displacement card tells you kind of like what you need to kind of give up, or kind of what you need to let go of in order to make your life better. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at that energy here for November 19th here, and see what period we are in for November 19th. Going backwards, that's why it's okay. So November 19th. And here we go. So right now you guys are in the Mercury period. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, and I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yeah, it could be a little bit. Yeah, the Mercury sense is the Mercury period is the first period. Yeah, it's a little bit low sleep here, you guys. But yeah, the first period is always the first day. Starts on your birthday, Mercury. Yeah, no, I didn't think of that. But yeah, that is a time of. It's a good time. It's always a good time when your birthday starts for any sign, for anybody. But so right now, the November 19th person born that day is in the Mercury period. This is about new ideas, right? It's a Gemini energy. It's about sharing your ideas for, and interesting. So is this can be about brand new ideas, the Ace of Clubs. Yeah, it can. A new way of thinking could be, but definitely about new ideas. And it can be about siblings. You could be spending more time possibly with siblings for those of you who have them born this day. And yeah, it can also be about things that are going to come in and go out, kind of transitory energy, which is really Gemini. And also it can talk about short-term travel, right, during the Mercury period. And we're going to end this here. And if you like your own reading, they're on promotion right now, $50, right? Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here.